Hey, everybody. Is Ann Poirier from the Body Joyful Revolution. And I'm here because apparently Facebook is not letting me go live right now. I don't know why, but that is the way it goes sometimes. So I wanted to at least make a video so that I can post it there. And it will be open to the public for a short period of time. And then it is going to go directly to the Body Joyful Revolution for their eyes only. So if you come across this and cannot get it, feel free to join us over at the Body Joyful Revolution, because that's where I am sharing content on Wednesdays. And I'm actually going to kind of scoot over there and let people know where the heck I am. So if you don't know me, I am the author of a few books, and I am pulling up my YouTube to share with people so that they can come visit me. My first book was The Body Joyful. Oh, I love technology. I'm trying. Here I come. I'm trying to get over to the Facebook group so I can share with them where I am. So I apologize if you're coming in going, who the heck is this and what is she talking about? Anyway, the Body Joyful Revolution is a group of women who are rejecting society's thin ideal and diet culture and are stepping into living a life feeling confident and comfortable in their bodies as they are, and stepping into themselves with that space. Because unfortunately, diet culture has kept many of us stuck in negative self-talk, comparison, judgment, criticism, not doing the things we want, anxiety, depression, isolation. I could go on. Eating disorders, disordered eating, many of those things. So if you're still with me, I have something to share today, because we are going into summer, and summer can be a difficult time because there are beach parties, bathing suits, family parties, gatherings, get-togethers, pools, all of that stuff. And it is important to take pause and take time to think about how you want to step in to this coming summer. Who are the people that you want to see? What are the things that you want to do? What experiences do you want to have? What foods do you want to eat? All of those things are important to think about moving in. And if there's anxiety and stress around those things, take a moment to take some deep breaths and realize that those are belief systems and patterns that have been with you for a long time. Summer can bring about all kinds of anxiousness and comparison and assumptions and expectations that just get so muddied in the brain. And it's really hard to step forward. It's hard to do something because of all of that stuff. So with that said, taking a moment to step into where you are now. And as you look at the summer ahead of you, do you want to be at the end of the summer, or at the end of the year, or at the end of the next 5 years and say, oh, I wish I had. Why didn't I? You may be doing that now from last summer. So pausing and stepping into this summer with intention. I use this analogy. If I want to get to California, I can get to California. I don't need a GPS. I go west, I'm going to get to California. But if I want to go to a particular street in Half Moon Bay, California, I better know where I'm going. I can get to California, but I need to know where. It's a long coast. Where is Half Moon Bay? And then where is the street? If we don't know where we're going, how do we get there? So when we think of this coming summer, how do we want it to go? What does it look like for us? And so for myself, as I look at this coming summer, I know I now live in a place where it's almost summer-like much of the time. I know it's going to be hot. I also know that I have not explored much of this island. I have not explored much of the surrounding areas because I've been busy doing. And I think that's what happens. We get busy doing the things we're supposed to do, doing the things we have to do. And we don't stop and pause and say, well, what do I want? So here's my intention for this summer. I'll bring you back to, I don't know, 4th grade geometry for a minute. Where I am right now, here, 55 Gardner Ave in Hilton Head. If I took a string that went out 20 miles and I made a big circle, there's going to be part of my circle, maybe a third of my circle is going to be out in the ocean. Probably not going to explore that. I'll explore the little edge. I'll get in. One of my goals is to swim in the ocean. I'll be doing that, I'm sure. But what's out here? What's in that other space? I haven't explored that other space. What parks are there? What beaches are there? What museums are there? What farmers markets are there? What other things are there in all of those spaces? That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go try to explore the island and beyond. And that's kind of like, I probably have 10 weekends through the summer. And if I can get to 7 places over the course of those 10 weekends, that's pretty darn good. I might not have said that long ago when I thought I needed to get a 90 or 100, but right now 70 looks pretty good. But if I get to 7 different places, so that's my intention. I also want to get to some farmers markets. I want to try some new restaurants. I want to try some new experiences. I want to get into the ocean. I want to get down to see my daughter. Can't quite get over to Japan this summer, and sadness, but I will make sure that on a weekly basis I connect with her via FaceTime. And I will do that. So taking time to set your intention for what you want this summer to look like. Who do you want to spend time with? Whether it's video, Zoom, in person. Where do you want to go? What experiences do you want to have? What foods do you want to eat? Are there any places you want to explore? Think about that. Are there any new books or book series you want to read? Is there something you want to learn because you have a little bit more time? Those are all things to explore and think about as you step into this summer. And with all of that said, I want to talk about 2 other things. One is that summer provides a longer daylight, which means we do kind of have to prioritize sleep and think about sleep. Going out, sitting outside, taking a leisurely stroll at like a sunset hour, if that's a space that you can do that, actually gives your brain the intention of it's evening and it'll kick in melatonin production. Outside, it's just like sunlight in the morning. Getting sunlight in the morning taps into the brain, says it's time to wake up and it's time for daytime. Sunlight, dim light, cloud light, doesn't matter. In the eyes at sunset does the same thing for evening and bedtime. What things might you be able to do that you can really connect with mindfulness and grounding? Where can you go outside to watch the clouds It's one of my mother's favorite things, to lie on the ground and look at the clouds in the summer and decide what they looked like. What were those, the picture? She just always, do you see the elephant? Do you see the bird? Do you see the whales? Usually animals. Do you see the face? But it was she always could find a picture within the clouds. And so lying on my back, looking at the clouds, summertime thing. Climbing trees was a summertime thing. If I find a tree that I could climb this summer, I will probably climb it. Watching the stars feels like a summertime thing. Listening to the birds, bird watching, taking hikes, all summertime things. Having a picnic somewhere, summertime thing. Mindfulness, being present. What might you do to connect with summer this summer? And also, with that said, we tend to sometimes overcommit. So I want to give you 3 different strategies for kind of boundary setting for the summer. If you are a person that overcommits, says yes to everything, I want to do everything, and then gets overwhelmed or gets frustrated or possibly depressed or resentful or regretful over, why did I say yes to that? 3 different strategies. Number 1, Brené Brown's spinner ring mantra and technique. If you say yes to a lot of things, this comes from Brené Brown, full credit. Think of a spinner ring. Spinner ring is a ring on your finger that spins either sideways or has little rings that you can spin. You can look it up. You'll find them. Both of my daughters have spinner rings. I'll eventually get one. It is good for anxiety, and it's good for when you're anxious, nervous about something or something's coming. It gives you something to do with your fingers that occupies your mind a little bit. Brené Brown's spinner ring mantra. Choose discomfort over regret. Choose discomfort over regret. Choose discomfort over regret. I will be uncomfortable in this moment by saying no to this thing so that I will not regret it for the next 3 days because I said I would do this one thing, or that I won't regret it later tonight. I won't regret it in a month. It gives you space to pause and think about, is this a good decision for me? Will this put me over the edge, or will this make me feel really great? In that pause, it gives you the space to say either yes or no with a little bit more thought and intention. And if you think about the story she talks about I think it's brown, it's the cookies or something. Will you provide 3 dozen cookies, for the bake sale for tomorrow night? Oh, sure. And then that night, feeling angry and frustrated, regretful that you said yes because you're trying to make cookies, or running to the store the next day because you forgot to make cookies, and it becomes this whole thing. And so for 2 days, you're regretting the decision that you said yes to. Instead of being uncomfortable, yes, saying, I am strapped for the next 2 days. I do not think I can, maybe I can buy them. Or maybe I just can't do it. So I'm really sorry. Discomfort, short period of time. Regret, longer period of time. That's 1. Number 2, 10-10-10. 10-10-10 principle. Decision 1, say yes. If I say yes, what happens in 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days? Decision 2, what happens in 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days? All it does is provide perspective. It gives you different perspectives of what one particular decision, yes or no, leads to moving forward. It allows that space, and it allows a more conscious decision. So spin a ring, 10-10-10. And the last is when you are scheduling things, to schedule buffers or downtime. There's a tendency, I know I am guilty of this. Well, I'll do this at 9, and then I'll do this at noon, and then I'm going to do this at 1. Things tend to take a little longer than we think. So the next thing you know, the thing that you were supposed to do at noon, you're not done with the thing you started at 10. So now all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock. You haven't done the thing at noon. You haven't done the thing at 1. And now, like, it just brings anxiety. It brings a sense of failure. Like, I'm not good enough. I can't do anything. So it just spins into this whole big thing. Build in buffer time, build in downtime. That's what summer's all about. Making sure you have days or you have afternoons or mornings that are just yours, that are free, that are unscheduled. I think about it as interval living, and I think it's a really good way of looking at all of this. I work hard and then I rest. And then I work hard and then I rest. The only way I can work hard is if I take a rest. I can't work hard all the time, because what happens when we do that? We crash and burn. So build in downtime. Build in the reading. Build in the sitting by the pool or at the ocean. Or build in days of nothing, that you can choose what you want to do. Think about what you want to do. What does it look like? Set your boundaries and then move forward. Summertime is great for different types of foods. What different types of foods might you experiment with this summer? A few years ago, when we were living in Maine, Tim and I went to the farmer's market every week. Great farmer's market in Portland. And we would pick out one vegetable. Sometimes we knew, but we really tried to pick out something we didn't really know much about. So many days it was something we didn't know much about. And then we would create a meal around it. So we learned about new vegetables. We tasted new vegetables. Some were great, some were okay, some were not so great. Didn't matter. It was a learning. The process of going to the farmer's market was fun. So think about farmer's markets for yourself. Think about what things might be really fun. Is there a picnic that you could take somewhere? Think about that radius. Where might you go and have a picnic? And then to finish out tonight, I'm going to ask you, if you so choose, to do something that I call a destination postcard. So when I was at Colby Sawyer College, I had a client who always, every Christmas, sent out a year-end letter. And it was always so fun. I mean, I know I also got year-end letters that weren't so fun, but this one was always so fun because she was working with her husband they had a bucket list thing that they were doing, that they were pinning, so using a pin, and staying overnight together with their 2 dogs at each state in the United States. And so he's always looking forward to seeing what states they pinned that year and all the little troubles that the dogs got into or adventures that the dogs got into at each of those places. But anyways, it was always very fun. This destination postcard is you writing a letter or a postcard to yourself at Labor Day. So Labor Day of 2025. But you write the letter today or tomorrow. Dear Annie, this summer we had such a good time. I learned, I started. I was involved in. I was so excited by. It was so great to see. I loved being able to. Past tense. In the moment on Labor Day, recalling your 2025 summer. What did you do this summer? Who did you meet? Who did you see? Where did you go? What did you do? What adventures did you have? What restaurants did you try? What places did you go? Did you learn anything new? Did you jump into any particular program? Did you write something? Did you paint something? Did you knit something? All those things. And you just tell the story in past tense. But right now, for September, first week in September, Labor Day. And by doing that, you are planting in your brain, you're bringing awareness to your brain that these are the things that I'm doing. It's a great way to bring to life what you want in your head. So I want you to think about that. That is the way that we help ourselves move forward and do the things we want to do. Before I wrote my first book, I had it on my obituary that I wrote years before. Both my first and my second book, actually. The other things that I had on my obituary were a third and fourth child's book. They have not been written yet. But hey, 2 out of 4 is not bad. So when I wrote this, it was pre The Body Joyful and pre Not a Fat Annie. And now both of those are written and done. It was because I wrote that this is what I wanted, that this was already done. Because now I was on my deathbed and I had died, and these are the things that I'd done. That's what we're doing in a much less morbid way, right? What did I do this summer? So be proactive. Let me know what you've done. Let me know what you're going to do. I should say what you've done, quote, quote, in your destination postcard, or what you're planning to do this summer. I'd love to hear. So thanks for being here. I apologize to the whole Body Joyful Revolution that I couldn't get on. I don't know. I tried like 8 times, both on my phone and on I don't know. Wouldn't do it for me. So I figured at least I would record something and send it to you. Love to hear what you're talking about and thinking about for your summer.